I don't know if you pull one of your one of your tricks.
Your damn Snapchat isn't coming through.
Well, now it's recording though.
Oh, there we go.
Little pig, let me in.
It's funny you bring up The Walking Dead, actually, because, my friend, this was the worst day of my life. And I don't mean worst day of my life. I'm being over the top about it, but
let's get into it, baby.
I had a lot of little things that really pissed me off, and it culminated with me actually ruining a frying pan, and I had to throw the entire thing out because I was trying to recapture my glory days and make stir fry, and I completely fucked it up. And stuff is caked on so hard that it was just not coming off. So that was the final straw that just happened. But we had some things go wrong today, which is fine. Not everything works out the way it's supposed to.
Not every day is going to be amazing, you know what I mean? But you just got to brush it off and get ready for the next one.
But nothing surpasses the middle of the day, though, when I decided, hey, Disney Plus put this Taylor Swift concert on. I'm gonna watch it. Ugh.
Yeah, I could tell by your tweet you were not a fan.
It's kind of karma. It's karma because I shouldn't have watched that. All it did was it made me angrier for the wrong reasons, I think. But most of them involved Taylor Swift being self-centered. And if you saw my postings on the social medias of that, because Taylor Swift decided, hey, here's the photos of me and my band in Paris, and then all the photos were just her smiling, and I was like, it's like when they have the picture of Anakin and Obi-Wan, and it says there is one Jedi Master in this photo. I don't know. Yeah, so that was to tie it back to The Walking Dead, because I'm so mad that I'm gonna have an angry shower when we're done. So we're gonna make this a Walking Dead episode, actually. In and out.
20-minute adventure.
Yeah,
I have watched maybe 5 minutes combined of The Walking Dead. The reason why I brought it up is that with StreamYard, for those of you who don't know, I'm basically sitting on deck, waiting to be added to the stream. And I was sitting there for a few moments there, probably a minute or so with you just looking at your phone. And I was like, oh, well, this is a perfect time to record John. And I quoted the one line from The Walking Dead I do know by heart. I pulled it up well.
I ditched that show 5 seasons in, and then I skipped ahead 3 seasons several years later, which was a month ago. And it got good, I was told. And then I found out that Negan claps Walker cheeks.
Oh, brother.
I was like, ooh.
Fellas.
But that was right in the middle of quarantine, so I was pulled the shade down quickly. I was like, this is the most shameful thing I've ever done.
Anything goes.
In quarantine, brother. Anything goes.
This is not for future employers listening, perhaps right now. This is not an endorsement of John's actions.
This is a bit, I swear.
Yeah.
The finale of that season, by the way, the season that's on right now, got delayed because of coronavirus. You know what else got delayed?
People still watch that freaking show? Again, as someone who's never watched more than 5 minutes, people still watch it?
They do, and I the people that I used to watch it with back in the day, some of them bailed before I did, some of them kept going, and the thing is, the people who kept going kind of got rewarded because the last seasons 8 and 9 are by far the 2 best seasons of the show, and they get fucked up. It gets really fucked up and dark, and that's the shit we want to see. It's like last week what we talked about with Batman. We're at the cycle of a new Batman movie coming out where they're saying that it's darker than the previous ones, except The Walking Dead actually did get darker than the previous ones. But so Walking Dead season finale canceled due to COVID-19 or pushed off. But you know what else got pushed off? And this is very sad. Apparently this happened a month ago. I didn't find out until yesterday. Soul.
I was gonna say the defender on the Saints when Kyle Rudolph caught that touchdown. He got pushed off. He did not actually get pushed off. No, he did not get pushed off.
Yeah, he did.
It was not a push off. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it did.
No, it wasn't.
You know who else pushed off? Dez. Oh no, wait,
Dez caught it. Are you a Dez didn't catch it person?
I've moved on, I think, from that debate.
There's no moving on from that. I'm actually surprised. I'm actually half surprised. I'm half serious when I say this. I'm surprised that it hasn't been brought up on ESPN or Fox Sports 1 during all this quarantine. They need to bring something back up. So I want to rub that again. And by the way, he did catch that ball. He caught it. I don't care what the rule says. Actually, that maybe makes me a hypocrite with the tuck rule thing. Technically, no, he didn't catch it, but it should have been a catch. So I just did a full 180 on you there. I guess technically he didn't catch it, John.
Wow, so
I like playing both sides.
You just beat yourself in a debate.
I did, yes.
Like when they edit both sides of the screen together to have Stephen A. arguing about himself.
Or I was gonna say when Skip argues against himself with Aaron Rodgers.
How's the?
What were you gonna say? Because I was gonna keep going with the Walking Dead thing and kind of dive into another topic on it. I'm so surprised that show's still on. Like, when did that show debut? Like, 08?
2010.
Okay, so close enough. Jeopardy. If that was The Price is Right, it would have been a good answer there. 08, 2010.
So they have gone through like 9 different showrunners, from what I understand. The actual number is like 5. I think they're on their 5th, and the girl who's doing it now is like insanely good. And the like 3 of them like we're getting a paycheck and just mailed it in. The first one was fine, but I think him and AMC hated each other, and that's why they like booted him, and then they killed off the character who was played by the actor who was his best friend.
What is this like an NFL team just consistently switching offensive coordinators with a young quarterback, like all the different showrunners?
That's essentially what they did.
Like this guy gets drafted first overall, but everyone's like, he's kind of a bust. He hasn't really blown up, but then you really take a look at it, and it's like, oh wait, he's had 4 offensive coordinators in 5 years.
Yeah, it was Sam Bradford.
Exactly.
The Walking Dead is in the Vikings phase of Sam Bradford right now, and you're like, oh, he's actually pretty good, but then it like their knee's about to get blown out.
And he somehow gets a 2-year, $40 million contract from the Cardinals.
And then the following year they're gonna bring in like some crap. Oh, and then all of a sudden Rick isn't on the show anymore, and every actor is no longer on the show except for like one of them. So
didn't Sam Bradford get traded in like 2015 for a 1st-round pick? Am I making that up in my head?
Sam Bradford got traded. Well, first he got traded to. They did a 1-for-1, him and Nick Foles. From the Rams.
Yep, I do remember that.
Rams and Eagles.
But he got traded from the Eagles for a pick, didn't he?
Then he got traded for a 1 and a 4 to the Vikings.
That's psychotic. It's crazy. That actually happened.
I was on the air when that happened. And when I say on the air, I mean I was broadcasting a lacrosse game. And yes, I 100% stopped what I was doing and reported that Sam Bradford was traded.
Oh yeah, breaking live on this UMass lacrosse game. Wasn't he like okay with the Vikings
exactly
though?
What happened?
Wasn't he?
Yeah, no, he was like pretty good, and
but worth the 1st round and a 4th-round draft pick.
Hey, it almost worked. If it worked, then it wouldn't have been an issue.
Keep talking. I'm going to try to find out who the Eagles picked.
Oh, the Eagles got like one of them was Derek Barnett. I'm pretty sure. So
recovered a fumble to basically clinch the Super Bowl for the Eagles. Pretty good to get for them. Minnesota. Later used to select Derek Barnett and a conditional 4th-round pick in the 2018 draft. Did that end up doing anything? Eagles.
If it was conditional, then it might not have, because Sam Bradford pulled a Sam Bradford that season, and he was like MVP candidate in September. Do you remember the September of 2016 Sam Bradford MVP candidacy?
I remember that.
That was a real thing. That was a real thing.
That was big for your brand.
Yeah. And then he blew his knee out. And then the following year, he had that Monday night game against the Saints where he like lit it up and then blew his knee out again. And then came back and then blew his knee out a 3rd time. And then Case Keenum like played well. So they were like, all right, I guess we're sticking with him.
And then the Saints ended up losing another playoff game. I'm all in on slandering the Saints, by the way, from this point out. Just because they're just babies. They're fans. Michael Thomas is a baby. Did you just see him on Instagram today talking with Devontae Parker?
Was he bitching about something?
There was a poll. There was like one of those Instagram posts, and I'm paraphrasing here. But the question was, would you rather like go up against Stephon Gilmore? You know, I'm going to pull up the exact wording of it because again, this is not disrespectful to Michael Thomas whatsoever. I don't think he's the best receiver in football, and now I'm half expecting him to come onto the airwaves and start defending himself and yelling at me because Michael Thomas is very, very defensive. Which is tougher, make a catch while guarded by Stephon Gilmore or break up a pass while guarding Michael Thomas? Devontae Parker said A, the Stephon Gilmore thing. Again, coming from experience, having to go against him, it makes sense. can't guard Mike Thomas, it just started going off on Devontae Parker here in the pocket. You can't even get it, like, just looking here.
And to be correct, Devontae Parker is the only receiver in the league who actually torched Stephon Gilmore last season too. So,
yeah, exactly.
All right, so he can talk. Like he can talk.
Tough one. For you, can't guard Mike to Devontae Parker. For you, yes, go run. This is public. This is on comments. Go run some numbers up. Then you can talk. I lapped you, and you've been in the league longer than me, first rounder. And then Devontae Parker goes, got some hard feelings there, brother. Let me get targeted 300 times a game, and like they're just going back and forth with each other.
It's weird. It's weird how much these like, which I didn't really totally get it. I guess until you see in the NBA a lot, but these people like they care about personal stats a lot.
Of course,
at least earlier in their career, most of them do. And
that's
then
huge for them that's huge for them getting contracts.
Right. But then later in their career, most of them stop caring about that, and they're all about the team.
Or or your name is Jerry Rice, and then you remember every single stat that you've ever recorded ever. But no,
although I could tell you my sophomore year of high school like lacrosse stats. So
3 games, 14 minutes played, 0 goals, 0 assists. Brad, boom.
0 goals, 0 assists the entire season. 1 ejection though. But other than that,
I don't think I've ever heard this story.
Oh, I told. Well, actually, I lied about the 0 for 0 thing because this was after a goal. But I think one of the defenders like kind of
had to slip that in there.
Slipped that stat in my only goal of the year.
Yeah, slip me one.
But I looked at the goalie and grabbed my balls and told him to hold my dick. So
I've never heard that.
Really?
No.
Oh yeah. And the referee was my freshman football coach.
He's like, John, I can't let that happen, John. I can't.
He literally looked at me. He was like, "Dude, seriously?
You're gonna make me do this? You're gonna make me do that? You're gonna make me look like an a-hole? You're gonna make me do this, John?" Now, did you say it just like a hold my dick, or did you do the Marshawn Lynch like the hold my dick? Did you do that?
No. It was like an angry. I yelled at him. I was hitting the neck with a stick. That was what prompted it. And also, I ripped a fucking heater by him too. And by that I mean I was roughly 6 inches from him when the shot was made, and that is impossible to catch.
An angry hold my dick from you. I would just laugh in your face.
Yeah, but I mean I was also 15, so it's like, hey, hold my fucking dick.
Don't do that to me next time. You sound like the 2 assistants in Monsters Incorporated. Like, whoa, Wazowski! Hold my dick, Wazowski!
Do you want to pivot here to another wide receiver? I said this earlier.
I just wanted to finish my Saints thing. They just cry about everything about calls, and Michael Thomas is also a baby, so I'll just make fun of them. And Drew Brees
they've also got like pretty fucked. Like if that happened to the Patriots, if like the Tommy Lee Lewis play happened to the Patriots, the pass interference, Nickel Roby Coleman play, like that would like we would never.
Everyone would cry about it, but everyone would be wrong too. Patriots fans are wrong about a lot of stuff.
What do you mean?
They had so many chances to win that game. They had but
that's like so close. That's like so close to the end of the game, though.
They had the ball in the fourth quarter. They got the ball right back to drive to win the game.
Something as egregious as that, you can't excuse that.
They could have stopped the red. That they took the lead.
Yeah, but if you could do coulda for that, you could do coulda for the other side. Blah blah.
Well, the Saints could have scored, put up 21 points in the first 3 drives. Instead, they only scored 1 touchdown and 2 field goals. I'm so sick of hearing about that pass interference call.
You know what?
2 years, a year and a half, however long after the fact.
You know what? I've moved on, and I think you should too.
Yeah, I probably should. Also, the Minneapolis Miracle is very funny to watch now, just knowing that I can slander the Saints now freely.
Do you want to do DMT with Sammy Watkins with me?
Yeah, keep it on with football here. And I don't know why we didn't lead with this, but I guess this was posted a couple of days ago. Yes, I'm just now seeing it like today, and where the hell was this a week ago when this post? I didn't see it.
It was released, I think, Monday or Tuesday, so we didn't have it for last week's show. But,
yeah. So what the fuck is that?
Yeah. Let me just pick a thing and I'll just read it. I'll read this. Dreams are not merely this. So this is a Bleacher Report feature from Ty Dunn. It is feature season because another feature I want to bring up after this to you as well, because this is great. the reason why this is feature season is because it's NFL off season, so we get all the great NFL features. Like last year, the Jalen Ramsey one was really good. Or that might have been 2 years ago. There was an Aaron Rodgers one last year by I think the same guy who's doing this one. That's actually pretty good as well. And then also, since most of the summer blockbuster movies are set to come out, you get the weird actor ones, which is what the other one will be, although that movie got delayed. But nevertheless, so Sammy Watkins is just a fucking weirdo. And he so when he was in Buffalo, I guess he was just a huge alcoholic. When he was like 21, 22, he was just getting blackout wasted like every single night of the week. And then would just go to practice, basically just be hungover every day.
And he like specified it. He's like every day. Every single day.
Yeah, he made sure that was known. But then he starts like, okay, he claims he's reading bullshit. He's definitely watching YouTube videos. But so like just it's all this stuff about like religion and space and the astral realm is
yeah,
what he's like watching.
YouTube.
Dreams are not merely dreams. No, Watkins believes we all move through an astral realm in which you can manifest outcomes into the physical world, like this past AFC Championship game. Yeah, he made all that happen. Okay, so that's just the law of attraction, right? Isn't that the same thing?
A head full of astral realms. That's my favorite Coldplay album.
It's a Coldplay. It's a B-side.
Yeah, that kind of, I guess, I don't know. An astral realm manifests outcomes into the physical world. That's just a lucid dream.
Yeah, I guess
so. It is still dreams. Dreams are not merely dreams; they're just lucid dreams.
2 other dimensions. He can't see them yet, but he can feel them. After one, this is insane.
I start feeling a couple dimensions after I have a couple Aloha Fridays, folks.
After one of his teammates scored a touchdown last fall, another Chiefs player stormed in Watkins' direction to shout, "Good shit, Sammy." Watkins looked at him, dumbfounded. His interpretation for the mistaken identity, his soul had leaped into the player who actually scored. So he thought they call him a possession receiver for nothing, folks. He felt that he possessed the body of another wide receiver who scored a touchdown. And then when he went to congratulate the wide receiver, accidentally called the other wide receiver his own name, thinking it was him.
I need fantasy points for that if I start Watkins. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if you have Sammy Watkins and he possesses Mecole Hardman's body.
Tyreek Hill rips off, like, cuts across the middle, catches him, then runs 80 yards upfield. Just blows over in the water. I need like 10 points there. I need 10 points or 15 points, however much it is for Watkins. If that was just if Watkins astral realmed his way to like 14 catches for 185 yards and 3 scores, like I need that. That's wide receiver 1 numbers.
Like what about like let's say it's scientifically proven that that's what happened though. Like you got to get fantasy points for that then, right?
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Fantasy God here with my weekly stardom sit-ups. My stardom, Sammy Watkins, bro. He's 4 players in 1 because of the Astro. I keep calling it an Astro, like Houston Astro or Astro Lounge, the best Smash Mouth album. It's Astral.
The best Smash Mouth album. Or Astro World. I think that's a rap album, right?
Astro World, yes. Yeah.
Oh.
He's going to...
Give me a point.
It's going to be a dream within a dream, and he's going to put up monster numbers even against a great defense this week. He's a must-start in all formats. My sit-em, Devin Funches, only 1 player. Not great target share. And again, I cannot stress this enough. He cannot transition bodies in the middle of a game. You're limiting the amount of targets you can get.
At one point they're sitting there and the writer asked him about free will and he goes, challenge Watkins's beliefs like this. Say that if you don't want to knock over the glass on this table, you have the power not to. And he just smiles. Something is inside of you, he promises. Whether it's good or bad, it's there, guiding you always. Minutes later, Watkins knocks over the full beer bottle in front of him. See? Out of nowhere. You see that? That's fucking nuts.
I imagine he just
stands up and just friggin' like, oh, what? See, man?
Exactly. He like throws it across the room.
It's like the dude, remember the old vine of the dude running through with like it's like ghost footage, and then he just crudely runs through with a sheet on his head and just runs through the room.
I imagine it's like an Eric Andre sketch. He's just sitting behind the desk and like he just bursts through the fucking desk, and then that sound effect just plays through. Sorry for the crappy editing. I don't feel like pulling it up on GarageBand and splicing it in there, so I had the phone do it anyways. But yeah, no, it's like Chunky from I Think You Should Leave. He just stands there, just puts it in a headlock and just throws it to the fucking ground. Oh my god, dude, that was crazy. That was the Astral Realm ghost who just tucked that water bottle across into the neighbor's yard. Wow.
One of the other words similar to Astral Realm in this is so here's the line here. He knows spirits, entities he calls them, move through us all via the etheric body, one of seven bodies of multi-dimensional consciousness. Is
he trying to be Kyrie Irving like so badly? Kyrie's on the hot seat with this. Like Kyrie's officially been put on notice. He's got to come up with something fucking ridiculous. He's got 24 hours to respond.
Yeah, funny how we haven't heard a word from him since all this started.
Yeah,
funny. Socrates has been awfully quiet since Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, I haven't heard a peep from Albert Einstein so far since this dropped.
Aristotle.
Imagine Kyrie's like that tweet that said, I've been working on this Astral Realm thing for 3 years, and Sammy Watkins just said it. Just said it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You got scooped.
So the other made big feature we got was the Robert Pattinson one, and the big takeaway from this was his recipe for making pasta. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, let's see how Robert Cullen from Twilight. People are gonna yell at me for not knowing that. I think it's Edward Cullen. Edward Cullen. Yes. Robert Cullen, Robert Pattinson, Edward Pattinson. Maybe I'll call him Edward Pattinson now going forward. But no, what's the recipe here?
So this was in GQ. So he now takes hold of the bag that he's brought home from the corner store, out of which he produces the following: one giant, filthy, dust-covered box of cornflakes. I quote, "I went to the shop and they didn't sell breadcrumbs. I'm like, oh, fuck it. I'm just getting cornflakes." That's basically the same shit.
Now, I don't necessarily hate that. I've seen like cornflakes be put on like chicken before instead of like breadcrumbs. I've seen that happen before. There are recipes.
Where did you see this happen? Because I
can't.
And if you could give me an address and time of day that residents will be home, and all of the entrances to their house, and if you have a spare key, let me know as well. And if you have a buckshot, bring it with you.
I think I don't know if like my mom made it once or if it was at like someone else's house, but I've seen cornflakes be used for recipes. I don't think that's so far out of the realm of like possibility.
Well, keep in mind that I don't think he's not making chicken parm or something. He's just trying to make pasta.
Yeah, that I'm interested.
Like, is he doing like the mac and cheese like layering of the breadcrumbs on top? Is that
I could see that? Yeah.
Do people do that? Like, I haven't really seen like. Okay, let me continue.
It basically stands in for breadcrumbs, kind of.
One incredibly large novelty lighter. Quote, "I always liked the idea of doing a little flambe, like the brand name, with kind of burnt ends at the top." So he's lighting it. I guess he's browning the cornflakes with a physical lighter, and he's just running it back and forth on the top of it.
I think it's a novelty lighter.
Yeah.
Specifically has to be for like Scooby-Doo brand or whatever.
9 packs of pre-sliced cheese. I got like 9 packs of pre-sliced cheese. And then the final ingredient is sauce. Like tomato. Then the writer asked him, like a tomato sauce? Quote, "Just any sauce."
This enthralling interview. Just any sauce. Also, that is ridiculous too. You can't just pick any sauce. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially for pasta.
Like sometimes vodka sauce is the way to go. Sometimes, not so much.
So, and then the way he cooks it, this might be the most psychotic part.
That was kind of quiet there. It was kind of quiet there for a second.
I watch as he pours.
All right, you're delayed here.
I think we both are. That's an issue. All right,
Yeah,
I'm going to
well, that
power
stinks.
through this reading. He puts on latex gloves. He pulls out some sugar and some aluminum foil and makes a bed, a kind of hollowed out sphere with the foil. He holds up a box of penne pasta he had in the house. All right, Pattinson says. So obviously, first things first. You gotta microwave the pasta. Famous last words. I watch as he pours dry penne into a cereal bowl, covers it with water, and places it in the microwave for 8 minutes. He says using penne is already new territory for him. Usually he uses, well, quote, do you know the pasta that's like it's like a blob, a sort of squiggly blob? And
Some macaroni.
that's where we can end because you know where this is going. And he covers it with tinfoil as well, which I could have sworn you were not supposed to microwave.
No.
But I guess he probably has like the bat wave or something now, so he can just microwave whatever the fuck he wants in there. Ugh, that's nasty.
Yeah, not good. Not maybe a good actor, good looking guy, can't cook. Although I will say I don't necessarily hate the cornflakes idea. There are cornflakes recipes that you may not first think of. Maybe we'll make some cornflake chicken when this is all done.
Oh god, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Oh, by the way, so I actually led the podcast with this. I think how I fucked up stir fry. Yeah, nothing pisses me off more than wasting food. I've achieved dad territory with that, and I threw out like half of the fucking stir fry I made today. So I don't know.
Could have been put to good use. Could have been in your belly. Someone else could have eaten it.
Oh, by the way, how's your hair situation coming? Or how's
Horrible.
it been?
Bad. Look at this. I mean, yeah, you can't see it on the podcast, but and I'm very happy you can't. But it is a mess right now. I've reached full Beatles like 1963 territory. I just go straight down. If I don't put any gel up, it looks like I just have the worst bangs in the world. I look like a goth boy in like
we should get you
circa 2007. I gotta stop saying like so much too. By the way, I've noticed that. Noticed that tonight, but no, it's bad. It's really bad. But the thing is, I'm not going to be going to barbershops when things open up right away. It's going to be a madhouse. I don't want to waste time doing that. That's gonna. Plus you can't like distance at all there, and they're all inside, and no higher chance to get the Roni from there. I don't. Am I wrong? It's gonna. Barbershops are gonna be flooded that first week. When barbershops are same thing with hair salons. Everyone's gonna have the same idea because everyone's hair has been growing like mine disgustingly. I don't. No need.
You start going back like me. I'd actually just texted you the photo of how I did my hair, and I actually texted you a group chat. So you can see my family roasting me for it as well. But I went. I went straight back. I had a sleeve from a shirt I don't use, and I like tied it back completely. And it was glorious. That shit was out of my face the whole week. It was just back. Didn't have to worry about it.
I don't have the bandana on right now. Maybe I should put it on because it keeps getting down onto my hair, and it's really bothering me. You look like a reply guy in that picture. You look like a hardcore reply guy.
Should I make a reply guy parody account for myself?
Yeah.
And just reply to female sports writers, explaining to them the sport that they cover.
Following like 500 people have 3 followers in return.
Fine, I'll find excuses to DM them too.
This is such a reply guy picture. This should be just the podcast cover picture for this episode, not the podcast page.
Man. Good. Nope. Can't make fun of me. We can make fun of you. We can make fun of you, but we can't make fun of me.
Sorry, you lose. I'm getting my bandana. This is getting ridiculous. Hold on.
You'll lose.
Kevin Bacon wasn't in Footloose.
I actually played that on the radio today. The Kevin Bacon wasn't in Footloose thing. Yeah. this dude, a classic sports radio caller, just said something that was factually incorrect, and then every time he would be told a fact that disproved what he was saying, he would pause for 10 seconds and then just be like, no, and just repeat what he said.
No, facts don't matter. Nope. I don't need to prove it to you. Prove he was in it. Yeah, I don't need to. It's common knowledge. He was on, I think the best line of that is like he was on the cover of People magazine. He was. Nope, sorry.
Nope, he wasn't. You're
He
wrong.
was-
Nope, look it up.
Nope, sorry. Yeah, look, I don't have to.
So I think so I'm gonna go. I think we're close to long enough there, but I'm going to attempt a probably just in private at first. I don't know if I have the balls to. Which I mean, there's not really any public scenario in which I can bring this thing out anyway. But I'm gonna attempt to tie the man bun, and then what I'll do, I think, is I'll shave just the sides again, and then I'll wear a hat over it at work because I'm not fully there yet.
Are you going for like a circa 2016 e-boy haircut with the man bun?
Yes, I'll do that, and then what I'll do is I'll start going door to door, and I'll become a door to door granola salesman, and I'll try to sell it. I'll sell it by the pound. I'll even try to do some memberships, and then I'll get people to try to give $1 to raise a cow in the Middle East as well.
You've thought this out very thoroughly.
Thought this out very thoroughly. Yeah, none of this is on the spot.
You'll direct message 5 people and tell them if they direct message 5 people, then they can get a 2% discount. And if those people that you DM another 5 people, then they get a 4% discount. This is the second straight week of pyramid talk scheming that we've brought up.
Our company meetings will rotate between the same 3 mountains in Western Massachusetts that have colorful graffiti at the top of them, where there are always college kids taking group photos on Saturday afternoons.
Well, you know that because you've done that multiple times.
I've done that once, and it was not
I
a
thought you
group
did
pic. It
multiple
was just me and nudes. Yeah, well, I did. We also lived out there for a summer, too, so there was nothing else to do but climb the same 3 mountains over and over again.
Hey, what do you want to do today? Hey, you want to like day drink or something like that? No, let's climb the mountain. All right, that sounds good.
No, we did that yesterday.
We want to climb the other mountain? Okay, cool.
And then the next step is all maybe this is like a thing I can do where as the state starts to reopen, I'll also, like, the phases begin, I'll start to turn into a douche. So I'll start with the man bun now, and then like I'll do the granola thing. We'll have meetings on the mountain regularly every week, and then the final step, I think I'll just go to Sedona, Arizona, and I'll just take
Hollywood.
the millennial version of taking a picture on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, is posting a selfie in Sedona, Arizona. I have a theory. I think that's the whitest thing you can do. Is just at any point in time be in Sedona, Arizona is the whitest thing you can do in the world.
Yeah, that's a good. What are the top 5 whitest things you can do?
Well, you come out of the womb knowing the lyrics to Mr. Brightside.
It's pretty white.
So singing, binge watching Breaking Bad. That's probably number 1. That's number 1, right?
Just going to a farmer's market, in general, or apple picking. Apple picking is delightful. That's actually saying apple picking is delightful is extremely white because it is delightful.
Pretending you're sick so that your significant other can't bring you apple picking when you just want to watch football on a Sunday in the fall.
You just want to watch sports with the fellas. with the boys.
Having to ghost your spouse so that you can follow your fantasy team.
Hating your wife in general. That's like an old white guy. That's an old white guy sports writer thing to do. Just
making comments to the boys about how you hate your wife, but you actually love her.
The old ball and chain.
Guess who's texting me? The photo. You're having the photo for your it's gonna be an us thing in 20 years. The photo for like our girlfriends is just gonna be Chain Chomp.
Making your ringtone for your wife, like the Darth Vader music, is an extremely white guy thing to do.
It's either that or it's Hey Soul Sister by Train.
Or it's the up all your wives. Yeah, I'm in trouble here. I didn't take out the trash because I was too busy watching the sports with the fellas.
I think there were 5 in there, right?
I think there were at least 5.
You set the bar. You set the bar a little too high. You should have gone like 3.
We'll revise it there. Make some cuts. I think we can make it a Mount Rushmore too. We'd be the only podcast doing a Mount Rushmore thing. Bring it up.
No one's ever done that before.
No one ever. Bringing up Mr. Brightside actually leads me to a thing I wanted to talk to you about. Have you seen me retweet the Throwback Bangers polls the last couple days?
Well, you tagged me in the first one. I removed myself from the situation rather quickly when I saw the very first poll had some very questionable winners.
So
like clearly better song coming in fourth to some garbage song, and I was like, all right, I am not the audience for this.
So let me just set the scene for everyone right now. My buddies from Stoughton, who may or may not be listening to this right now. If you are, shout out to you. If not, kick rocks. But I don't know, their process is weird for nominating songs. Basically, they're trying to build like a 64 song bracket, but they're starting off with like 128 of them, and it's kind of group play, like top 2 vote getters in a poll move on. And they're trying to find the best throwback banger song. I probably should have prefaced with that, but they're trying to find the best song between 95, I believe, and 2014. So they each put up nominations, and people in their group chat will either like endorse it with a thumbs up in the group chat, or they won't say anything. The more endorsements you get, you could basically get like a free ride into the knockout round of 64. But if you don't get enough, you're going to have to be going into these gauntlets. And they've been tweeting them out the last couple of days. I've been retweeting them. I've been adding my 2 cents where I see fit. And you basically just pick what song is your favorite out of the 4. Pretty straightforward stuff. Pretty good thought exercise, pretty good conversation. I just wanted to say, though, John, I am on a goddamn heater with picking the songs that move to the next round, which means my taste is cultured. My taste is exquisite. My taste is delightful. It is divine. I've got the juice when it comes to picking the throwback bangers. For example, I'll just give you today's slate. There are 16 songs in general, 4 groups of 4, 2 move on to the next round. I want to see what your take is, and I'll go into mine. As it stands right now, all 4 that I have voted for would be moving on to the next round if voting ended in like 2 seconds. So
okay,
let's go with the first matchup here. Knock Knock by Mac Miller, Right Above It by Lil Wayne, Jordan Sparks, Battlefield, and Nothing on You by B.O.B. And I think Bruno Mars is on that song with him. What's the best song out of those 4? To me, it's pretty simple.
I have their page up, and I just don't see any of these. Oh, there it is.
I retweeted it.
Okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah. I would go with.
It's Knock Knock.
I'd honestly think Battlefield by Jordan.
Oh my God, John! Cold start.
I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
It would be if it were No Air by Jordan Sparks. It would be the winner, though.
That's a better song. To be fair.
Not the right Sparks song.
I think
also, we've never talked about Mac Miller on this podcast before.
Well, yeah, Mac Miller's great. He's Watching Movies with the Sound Off is a very, very good album. It was unheralded at the time. I thought it deserved more love. But
Kids as well. I love Kids.
Yeah, Kids. I mean, Kids is the soundtrack of like sophomore year high school for everyone in our age group. Across the world, perhaps. No, the right Sparks song though is Sparks by Coldplay. That is actually the right Sparks song. But no, Knock Knock is the winner there. Right Above It's a good song too, but it's not as good as Knock Knock. It's a pretty tight one there. The next one, Closer by Neo, Best Love Song by T-Pain, Headlines by Drake, and then DJ Got Us Falling in Love by Usher. Who would you pick? It's kind of a weaker group, to be honest with you, but
I think I'd pick Neo probably, but I think Usher would probably be my close second. It's kind of a 1-8.
I said Headlines. That's what and Headlines is currently winning that poll.
Yeah, I don't do Drake, so
I don't dislike Drake. I definitely think he's overrated. Yeah, you're more of a Josh Peck guy.
Yeah,
Drake.
I'm more of a Megan guy.
Megan. Drake is a bit overrated. He definitely has some great songs. So Headlines is a good song. I like Headlines. Last Resort by Papa Roach. I feel like you're going to pick that. Just a Dream by Nelly. Great tune. Love Story by Taylor Swift, which is a powerhouse. And then MMMBop by Hanson.
So a distant fourth would be MMMBop by Hanson. Incorrect.
No, that is my vote. There.
Really?
What a tune!
I would, but see, that's why I almost like I discredit this poll, this bracket, whatever they're doing.
I discredit you.
Like that's wrong. Like Love Story's the best song there.
Well,
That's
first
obvious.
of all, Love Story is very handily in first. You'll be happy to know that Love Story almost has 50% of the vote there. So you got that going for you. I like Love Story a lot. Not even close to the best song on that album. The best song on that album is Hey Stephen. Anyways.
Fuck off.
Fuck you. No, Hey Stephen is way better.
Hey Stephen's for losers. I hate to break it to you. Hey Stephen,
hand up.
Stephen lost. Stephen lost. You know, he's the loser of that album.
It's a great song.
But luckily, if you started him in fantasy, though, his body was possessed by Sammy Watkins, so you'll get an extra 6 points out of that one because.
Well, that's anyone. Anyone could be possessed by Sammy Watkins at any time. But yes, I also am a self-admitted
such as matchup number 4. Sammy Watkins actually possesses Joe Walsh from Aerosmith. From the Eagles. And this, I meant to say something else. Walsh, who is in Aerosmith and lives in Duxbury, but I forget his name.
This one is a cakewalk. I don't want to miss a thing. Aerosmith. Swagger Like Us by T.I. I had nominated Paper Planes by MIA.
We're 2 for 2 on talking about Aerosmith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. In the last 2 episodes.
In general, we're 2 for 2 on talking Pyramid Schemes and Aerosmith in general, one way or the other. Voice crack there. Nice. But I nominated MIA Paper Planes a couple days ago, which cruised to the next round. And then someone brought up Swagger Like Us, which samples Paper Planes by MIA. Like you talk about riding my coattails. That it is a definition of a copycat league right there. Oh, let's get the song that just uses that to build a beat around.
The song selection is so all over the place, though. It's like, so the only like emo representation we have is Welcome to the Black Parade, which I don't know. I feel like emo music kind of defined the mid 2000s between like All American Rejects, Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, Panic. I don't know. That was kind of like the biggest thing, at least in my bubble. I know my bubble is not everyone's bubble. But then it's like you have OK Go was on here. Which, I mean, that song was like a banger and was like the first viral video in YouTube history. But
yeah, their music videos were
here it goes again.
Song.
Yeah.
For people who want to follow along with this, it's at Throwback Bangs, all one word, Throwback Bangs. I retweet it all the time on my timeline, and feel free to vote and join along with these. But yeah, I don't want to miss the thing of Smoking Swagger Like Us, Collide by Howie Day, and Feel This Moment, which Feel This Moment.
Should I also do a Throwback Bangs Twitter account? But I'll do it like Reply Guy, and it will not be about songs.
What do you mean? That's a bridge too far there, Anderson.
Throwback Bangs, the number 1 seed, Woody Harrelson, and what the hell is that girl's name from True Detective?
You tagged them specifically on
link to video for everything.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be happy to know that Smooth, Grammy Award winning 1999 hit single Smooth by Santana featuring Rob Thomas of Matchbox 20 off the multi-platinum album Supernatural, that did move on to the next round.
Wait, what?
Grammy Award winning 1999 hit single Smooth by Santana featuring Rob Thomas of Matchbox 20 off the multi-platinum album Supernatural moved on to the next round.
Oh, okay, cool.
Did you get that whole thing? Do you need me to say it again?
Hold on, you got cut off.
Rob Thomas. No, that was all. That was acting right there. That was all fake. Straight.
Wow, you nailed it. You knocked it out.
Bang.
Nominate this man. No movies this year. We got to nominate something.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
By the way, I watched that entire Netflix miniseries Hollywood. Speaking of nominations, and it was a series, and it was on Netflix.
It was a thing that existed.
It was in fact a show.
You certainly watched it. There's no denying that.
Yeah,
it was in front of me
now.
It was in front of your eyes. You hit play, and it unfolded in front of you.
Oh, that's what I was actually going to ask you what your buddies were doing, but that's what it was. I was under the impression I was like, oh, are they like writing a song and placing it into a challenge? What is this? No, but it's all that stuff. So that is all I have for you this week, my friend. Well, I have like 90 other things, but we'll just talk about them next week instead. So
We'll figure them out at some point. That's about all I have. Have you been playing Warzone? That might be my last thing.
no, you asked me that last week.
Maybe that'll
I
be a
have
bit.
not.
I forgot that I asked you that lastly. Oh well.
Maybe that'll be a bit. All right, let's keep it in the holster.
Start playing Warzone then.
No.
Were you a Call of Duty guy in high school?
Yeah, in like 2010.
When was the last time you were consistently on Call of Duty? Because it had been a while for me.
2010.
Black Ops 1.
Black Ops 1 was the last one I was on. I don't do online games anymore. It's just not. I'll waste too much time if I do. So
You're too cool for them now.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I play strictly story games.
You think you're better than me?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, pal, huh?
Yeah, no, so I have not been on that, but it's been grinding. Not really during this podcast, but there are times where you can hear the sounds of. I've been told that when I'm on a podcast, you can hear the sounds of gaming coming from the other rooms of the apartment. So
That picture of the dog inside of the car and the papers on, like, don't break out the window. He's okay. He has the AC going and he's gaming. You know that we could just make that edit.
he's a Dallas fan. Let him die. Oh, I am cranking a puzzle though, so that's what I'm gonna do when we're done here after a
Ooh.
shower.
My
Yeah,
mom's a
it
huge
is.
puzzle person. We've been getting puzzles downstairs at our house for the last couple months now. We had a 2,000 piece Disney puzzle that came from like China or Japan, Korea, somewhere in Asia. I'm not quite sure. I don't mean to sound ignorant, but I don't know where it came from. 2,000 piece, fucking impossible. We ended up doing it, so technically it is possible, but it was a pain in the ass. Nice girthy 1,000 piece are there. That's nice.
A 1,000-piece puzzle, and the reason why it is this is because like puzzles are sold out everywhere. So this is all I can get my hands on
Yeah.
for a video game that I have never played before.
That's supposed to be a good game, though, The Witcher.
Yeah, I've heard it's good, and also, but I've watched the Netflix show, and I think the cover of this is like somewhat of a spoiler because this chick on the cover is like a little girl from what I've seen. So it's like, oh, she's just gonna turn into a badass at some point. So yeah, I literally spent all of Sunday doing that, just watching. I watched both Secret Life of Pets movies. I watched some weird movie with Anton Yelchin when he's actually alive, and Tony Stark called Charlie Bartlett. I'd never heard of it, never seen it before. But it was,
R.I.P. my dog, Tony Stark.
R.I.P. my dog, Anton Yelchin.
Oh, is he?
Remember, he crushed himself with his car.
Oh, that was that guy. Oh,
yeah, this dude from Star Trek. Yeah.
Yeah, actual rest in peace. I didn't. I was just referencing the LaShawn McCoy tweet.
Oh, I know you were. But they asked LaShawn McCoy was asked about that tweet on Good Morning Football this week, and he was just like, he was like, man, like I didn't know that everyone like treated those movies like that. He's like, I get in the theater and everyone's like yelling and stuff.
Yeah, so you did know.
No, but then at the end he like dug himself even deeper because he was like, I didn't know people were that into these cartoons. It's like, it's not a cartoon, it's literally live action.
That's so funny because everyone it was the E that changed the world. Tony Stark.
Yeah, I know. Now I know to misspell like how I have all the filters set up for The Last of Us 2 right now. Like I think I might need to like spell Ellie and Joel a couple different ways so that in case LaShawn McCoy spoils it again for me.
Because I've hit a cog in my MCU progress. I just haven't been able to keep going with it. Not that I don't like it, I just haven't had the time. So seeing that as a neutral party, everyone lose their goddamn minds that day. I understand. I totally get why people are mad and they have every right to be, but it's kind of funny that a typo completely spoiled it for people.
Fuck that guy. He actually didn't spoil it for me, so
No,
whatever.
for a lot of people, he did.
That's what happens though. We have to be cautious with social media around the times of major film releases. Actually, it's really just Star Wars or Marvel.
At this
Just
point.
those two.
Yeah,
Like, I don't like no one's gonna spoil Soul for me. Although I can already tell, it's a Pixar or it's a Pixar movie, right? Yeah, it's a Pixar movie, so that that main dude's probably gonna die, and I'm probably gonna cry. So.
That PGP baby, that Pixar gut punch.
Oh yeah.
A lot of Pixar references today too.
Mm-hmm. No
Jamie
Pixar.
Foxx gonna die, Wazowski.
No Pixar gut punch in The Secret Life of Pets because it's not a Pixar movie.
It's probably Is it good?
Illumination.
Oh, so no, it's not good. Okay.
It's fine. It's certainly not in the upper echelon of young adult films, I'll say.
Minions don't deserve rights.
No, they don't. I have not seen any of those, and I don't think I plan on it.
I know we literally said 10 minutes ago we were wrapping this up and we're still going into this. I was at the
we haven't even brought up Coco yet.
No, do you want me to start crying legitimately? I've never cried. I heard "Remember Me" last night, and I heard the "Remember."
Oh yeah,
I was like, no, off. I'm gonna start.
I yell cried when I watched Coco. I was like, it was like sloppy drool. Like
crying.
That legitimately might be the best movie I've ever seen in my life.
It's certainly up there.
It's top 5 for sure. I ranked it number 1 in my decade, that's something we can retroactively revisit is our end of decade lists.
Yeah,
but that was I had that number 1 for the 2010 to 2019.
I don't know if it's my favorite Pixar. Nice, there you go. I don't even know if it's my favorite Pixar movie. It's certainly up there for Pixar, but in terms of making me, I was blabbling crying because there was something in my life that my grandfather had Alzheimer's and he died shortly before I saw Coco, and it was probably like a month after that happened, and I lost it. I was sobbing, crying watching that movie. It's a fantastic film, and anytime I think about Remember Me, I'm like, ah, fuck.
And this is way too late in the podcast to get into Coco. So before we go too long, let's put a stamp on it, and we will do a Pixar episode some other time.
We could do a Pixar episode, but I just wanted to say before we go on the Minions train, saw that the Wellfleet Drive-In once, and that was it was a double feature. It was the first show, and the second one was Inside Out. So I was rewarded.
Oh, wow.
Sitting through Minions I was rewarded with Inside Out. And I think that's a pretty fair trade-off because Inside Out is also a fan-fucking-tastic movie. But it was tough to sit through Minions. It was really, really bad.
Fuck the movies from Wellfleet.
Fuck the bears in Provincetown. Heed my words and take flight.
Boom.
Missy Mopena loves that song. And she's also nasty at puzzles, so you need to hit her up for your puzzle.
Oh, I'll hit up your girlfriend to hey, you want to do a puzzle with me? See if the pieces connect.
I mean, you've cucked me however many times at this point.
It is weird though how intricate I'm getting with this. It's like I'm literally like holding up, like reading the like paintbrush stroke of like certain pieces, and like it's actually working because I can kind of like nail down exactly where they go. But then there's also 1,000 pieces, so there's no mechanism for me to like have all of them laid out in front of me because there's just too fucking many. So
it's exhilarating when you get one. It's exhilarating when you like nail a piece that you've been looking for.
I remember my first.
Smokes. I remember my first puzzle.
And we'll update you with the puzzle next week.
There you go. Yeah, progress on the puzzle.
And hey, you know what? This podcast made me smile. I was having a bad one, and now we're good. So that's why we're doing this.
Now we're having a cool one with the fellas.
that looks like the Hitler mustache. It's like
Johnny Hitler Wazowski.
All right, before we get into before we start going down the World War II rabbit hole, too, save it for the World War II podcast as well. So we'll talk next week.
Bye, Wazowski.